This comes from our such two hot takes. I just found out that my best friend has been telling all of our friends that my boyfriend tried to cheat on me with her. Trigger warning, hostile workplace. Throw away because some of my friends follow my main account and are also listeners of two hot takes. Ellen 22F and I 21F met through an internship 3 years ago and instantly became best friends. About a year ago, I started crushing on George 24M who interns at the same company but in a different department. Ellen and another one of our coworkers set us up last fall and we really hit it off. We've fallen in love and we often talk about our future together. This is where things get messy. From early in our relationship, pretty much as soon as we went from just dating to being official, Ellen has been colder to me. She's never made it a secret that she doesn't particularly like George, though she's never said anything direct about it. The only issue she ever raised was when we first got together and he got really sick. I was studying for the MCAT at the time and I was only about a month out from my main test day when he had a pretty bad flare-up of chronic illness. Because he knew that Ellen and I were so close, he called her to ask if she thought he should tell me he was sick, or if it would be better to keep it from me so he didn't take me away from my studies. Ellen didn't like this at all. She told me she thought it was incredibly inappropriate that he tried to contact her like that and he shouldn't have called her about something so personal. I thought her reaction was a little over the top, but I talked to George about it and I apologized to her and never called her again, but she didn't let it go. A few weeks later at a party, she made a comment about how I was always choosing George over my friends. My roommate was going to be out of town next week, so she said she should say her goodbye since I would probably just spend the whole week at home with George. She tried to play it off as a joke, but I was really surprised she felt that way. I never wanted to be that kind of girl who turns her back on her friends when she gets into a relationship, and I had been trying really hard to balance my time with my boyfriend and with my friends. But it seemed she felt neglected, so I started putting more effort into our friendship. Over the next few weeks, I tried to make plans with her at least 5 or 6 times. Every time she came up with some excuses not to see me, even once canceling at the last minute and citing meeting she forgot about at 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I was hurt. I knew our friendship was dying, and every time I tried to revive it, she rejected me. Finally, I decided the ball was in her court. If she wanted to be friends, I was open to it. But I was sick of being rejected, and she would have to be the one to reach out to me. She never did. Meanwhile, things were deteriorating at work. We had been assigned to the same project for the year, which required working very closely together. As our friendship fell apart, she started ignoring me at work, being rude and short, and making my share of our tasks very difficult for me. I felt like she was constantly breathing down my neck and waiting to catch me in a mistake. I figured she was gossiping about me behind my back, but at this point, I was so exhausted from dealing with her that I couldn't be bothered about it. She would say whatever she wanted to say, and I would just be nice and patient with her and count down the days until our internship ended. Until today, I had lunch with one of our co-workers and my good friend Kay, 22M, and he told me everything. Apparently, Ellen has been telling all of our co-workers and friends that George had been trying to cheat on me with her, telling them that he calls her in the middle of the night, sends her inappropriate texts, and when I hosted a party after I wrote the MCAT, he spent the whole night eyeing her. I know that none of this is true. I love George and I know that he loves me. And even as Kay was telling me all of this, I knew that Ellen was lying. It seemed that Kay didn't believe it either. He was just telling me that he had heard